A couple months ago, I took this sack, and it was filled with change. And I took another sack with maybe about half the same amount of change. And I had collected all this change over time from different situations, different people, and I have no idea how long it took to get all the change that I had. But I took it to the bank, and they had one of those machines, and you pour it all in, and you watch it clink, 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 clink. $183 worth of change, which is pretty good. So I could fill my gas tank at least once. You know? But I started thinking about all the different places I had been when I got this change. And all the times I just put it in my pocket and then I threw it in this. And now I've only got that much change in there right now. The gospel today is about the transfiguration. It's about change. Not this change, but how we need to change. And what if every time we took change in our hands, we thought of what change God might want us to do? We look at change a lot differently. We probably wouldn't want change. I don't want any change because God may want me to change. I don't want that. What change might God be asking of us in this Lenten season? We hear that each year. Each year we know, okay, second Sunday of Lent, Transfiguration, Jesus changed. His clothes became dazzling white. I suspect if we took just a few moments, each and every one of us would probably know where we need to change. And if we don't need to change anywhere, God bless you. And that's wonderful. And keep doing what you're doing. But tonight, if we took that moment, Lord, what do I need to change? And if I'm not sure, Lord, give me the grace to see where you are asking me to change. And that every time we pick up change out of our pocket or we go to buy something using cash, which doesn't happen that often, but we do that, and we get a little bit of change, we can ask ourselves, am I doing the change that God would like me to do? Am I at least striving to change? This is my chosen son. Listen to him. Maybe the change God's asking us to do is just to listen to him, to listen to Jesus, to take the time to not just kind of move through life, but to listen. That in itself might give us a very clear idea where we need to change. Well, I try to listen to God, but I don't hear him. Well, doesn't always speak to our ears. Sometimes he speaks to our eyes. Many times he speaks to our heart. It's that little voice inside of us, no matter how old we are. It's that little voice inside of us saying, go this direction, go that direction. Second reading said from St. Paul, be imitators of me. What's it mean to be a Christian? It means I'm a follower of Christ. What does that mean? I try to imitate Christ. Are we willing to do that? And in our life, what does that mean? If I'm going to imitate Christ, what inside of me needs to change? Where inside of me am I perhaps not imitating Christ the way I could? Again, maybe that's not something we can even do. We're too afraid. And perhaps the Lord is saying to us tonight, don't be afraid. I walk with you. You truly can be an imitator of me. Many conduct themselves as enemies of the cross. Their God is their stomach, What a great line. Their God is their stomach. You know, what do we do in our stomach? We take in all this food. And sometimes we take in healthy food, and sometimes we take in food that's not so healthy. And the not so healthy stuff tastes really good, but sometimes later on, we realize it's not exactly the best thing for us. If our God is truly God, then we're going to do things differently. If our God is truly God, then we're willing to change wherever God might be asking us to change. And to believe that we truly can change. To believe that we truly can change. Their minds are occupied with earthly things. We're here on earth. Of course our minds are occupied with earthly things. Perhaps that's where we're called to change. To strive to have our minds occupied a little bit more on heavenly things and a little bit less on earthly things. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom should I fear? Of whom should I be afraid? Maybe that's the change. I need to allow the Lord to be my light. In times of darkness, in times when I'm not sure where I'm supposed to go, in times when I think this is best, but something else inside I know it's not. What if we made that the change in our lives? To allow the Lord to be our light. For when we do that, when moments of fear come, we'll be able to remind ourselves that we're not alone. Wait for the Lord with courage, the psalm said. Perhaps we ask God today for the grace to change, that in the moments of fear, I allow Him to give me the courage I need. In the first reading, count the stars if you can. Your descendants shall be greater than these. And Abraham put his faith in the Lord. Maybe that's our change. To put our faith in the Lord just as Abraham did. And Abraham asked, how am I to know that I shall possess this land? He wanted to trust. He wanted to put his faith in the Lord. But he still asked, well, how am I supposed to know? Maybe that's how we feel sometimes. How am I supposed to know? Okay, Lord, I'm willing to do this, but how am I supposed to know? The way we're supposed to know is to simply allow the Lord in each day. So maybe the next time we hold some change in our hands, we can think about where we might need to change. And as we continue in this Lenten season, we ask for the grace to look inside, to not only see where we could change, but to trust that God's grace is there, God's strength is there.